Hi, we're from the College of Athletic Training, also known as CAT, and our mascot is Puss in Boots.
And we just recently won the NCAA 2014 National Basketball Championship.
We are the strength and conditioning staff here at CAT, and we would like to share with you
how we trained our champions.
I'm Alexis Morrison.
I'm Chelsea LaFleur.
I'm Stephanie Hill.
And I'm Ashley Weddington.
Alright, next we're going to talk about our sport analysis. The first part of the sport analysis is the movement breakdown. Basketball players, their main movements include jumping, running, dribbling, passing, and shooting.
Another important part of the sport analysis is the breakdown of the energy systems. Basketball typically uses all three, which includes the phosphagen or ATP-PC, glycolytic, and oxidative. There is 60% usage of the phosphagen, 20% usage of glycolytic, and 20% usage of oxidative.
Next in our program is our periodization and how we break down our resistance training program. We do it in a macro cycle of 52 weeks into 3 different phases: the preparatory phase, competition phase, and a transition phase. Then we do smaller mesocycles of hypertrophy, which is 67 to 85% of maximum 1 RM, and then we break it down to strength, which is greater than 85%, and then power, 75 to 80% of their 1 RM. Our next component is our dynamic warm-up, which we do before practices and before competitions. They consist of straight leg shuffles, A skips, B skips, high knees, butt kickers, power skips for height, and power skips for distance.
I'm an axe grinder, pile driver. Mama says that I never mind her. Got no brains, I'm insane. The teacher says that I'm one big pain. I'm like a laser, 6-string razor. I got a mouth like an alligator. I want it louder, more power. Gonna rock until it strikes the hour. Bang your head. Metal.
Component is our speed drills. First, we do a resistive drill where the one athlete resists the other to increase the stride length. Then we also do an assistive, where the one athlete pulls the other to increase the stride frequency and turnover rate.
In this next segment, we're going to demonstrate some of the drills we do to work on our speed. The first one is a sprint resistive drill. Sprint resistive drills help to work on your stride length. And so what we're going to do is she's going to be pulling back on her to help create some resistance, make it harder for her to run out. She's going to start with a little bit of tension on the band, so she has to break through it to start, and then they'll just run down the track. This next one is a sprint assistive running drill. Sprint assistive drills help to work on your stride frequency and your turnover rate. So what she's going to do is she's going to be pulling her to help her run faster. So then, as you get towards the end, you want to try and stay in front of them as long as possible until you can't. Then get out of their way to let them finish the sprint.
Again, in conjunction with our speed drills, is our agility drills. We do ladders, which are such as the 1 foot in each, 2 foot in each, the typewriter drill, Icky shuffle, modified Icky shuffle, in out, zigzag, and the ollie shuffle, which are all demonstrated. Again, we also do the cone drills, which we have a 4-cone drill, square drill, the T drill, and a 7-cone star drill.
This next segment of our program is working on agility. First one we're going to do is ladders. These really work on training your phosphagen system because we're only doing about 5 to 10 seconds of total work. And these help to work on foot quickness, speed, form, technique, and just improving your overall movement. So the first one that we're going to do is we're going to do 1 foot in each rung. While she's doing this, she wants to really focus on her arm movements and popping those knees. She wants to get really quick, get through the ladders really quickly. The next one we're going to do is 2 feet in each rung, and she's focusing on the same things. The next one is a typewriter drill. It's essentially just an in, out, out. going to do is the Icky Shuffle. It's similar to that one, but you're always keeping one foot in the rungs moving up. The next one is the modified Icky. This one's similar to the Icky. Now she's just bringing both feet out instead of keeping one foot in. All these drills that we just did can also be modified to work backwards, so you can work on working in different directions. Next, we're going to work on lateral movements. It's good to work on changing directions because you're going to move side to side in basketball. So the first one she's going to do is just an in, out, out. Again, when you're moving laterally, you're still working on quick feet, using your arms, popping those knees. You're still working on everything. And you want to make sure to work in both directions that you face the same way when you're coming back. The next one she's going to do is similar to that one, but now she's going to take it across the ladder. And the last one we're going to do is the Ollie Shuffle. This one really works on getting your hips rotated. And that's it. Our next training tool that we like to use to train the Fossagen system is the use of change of direction and cone drills. The first one we're going to do is she's going to start at the first cone. She's going to sprint to the second cone, take about 2 or 3 decel steps, change direction and angle back to this cone, where she's gonna, with the back pedal, where she's gonna hammer out, sprint to that one, another couple decel steps, back pedal back to this one, hammer out, and then sprint through the finish. This next one is called the T drill. You just arrange the cones like a T. She's going to start this first cone, sprint to the middle cone, decide to either go to the left or the right. She's going to sprint to that cone, plant with her foot on the inside of the cone, change direction, sprint all the way to the other cone on the end. Again, plant her foot, change direction, sprint back to the middle, turn around, and sprint through this first cone.
On the street where you live, girls talk about their social lives. They made a lipstick.
Our last cone drill is a 7-cone star drill. This one you need to focus on staying low and quick movements. She's going to start at this first cone. In a low stance, she's going to shuffle to the middle cone, touch it with her hands, shuffle out, touch this cone, come back to the middle, touch and step that one, back to the middle, out to that one, back to the middle, out to this one, back to the middle, out to this one, back to the middle, and finally she'll sprint through the finish.
Touch the street with your eyes. All your best friends, your daddy gonna talk to you. But you would live.
The next segment of our video that we're going to discuss is the lifts that we do as part of our resistance training program. The first one that we're going to go over is the back squat. The back squat is a multi-joint Olympic lift in which the athlete is going to have a bar across their back on their shoulders. They're going to focus on keeping their feet shoulder width apart and sitting back into a squat with the weight going through their heels. They're going to focus on keeping their eyes up and their back flat. The next lift that we're going to go over is the front squat. The front squat is also a multi-joint Olympic lift. This one varies from the back squat in that the bar is going to be on the athlete across their collarbone. In this position, they're going to hold the bar. They want to keep their elbows up and their backs of their arms flat, parallel to the ground. In this, they're still going to sit down through their heels, and they want to keep their back flat and their eyes up. The next one is a power clean. The power clean is, again, a multi-joint Olympic lift, and for this one, the athlete is going to start with their feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly outturned. They're going to have their hands on the bar on the side outside of their knees. They're going to keep the bar close to their shins so that it comes up their body very close. The purpose of this movement is a fast and explosive catch in which they're going to pull the bar up aggressively and land into a front squat. The fourth one is a squat lat pull down. This one focuses on muscle isolation and movement isolation for the athlete. The athlete is going to sit down into a body squat while holding on to the lat bar. They're going to focus on keeping their pressure and weight through their heels, and they're going to pull the lat bar down, focusing on keeping their lower body and core tight and not moving. This will help them isolate their shoulders and their back muscles. The next one is the inclined dumbbell chest press. For this, the athlete will sit on an inclined bench with their head in a neutral position. They're going to bring their arms to 90 degrees and then press the dumbbells forward. The next one is a dumbbell shoulder press. For this, the athlete can do it either standing or sitting down on a bench with the back up. For this one, the athlete's going to focus on keeping their back flat and their core tight. They're going to have the dumbbells here. They're going to press above their head and bring the dumbbells back down to 90 degrees. The last component of our resistive training program is our prehab. Prehab takes on very different forms, and it's used to make sure that the athletes are preventing injuries that are common in their sports. Two of ours that we're going to go over are hip flexor band pulls and foam rollers. The hip flexor band pulls, you're going to have your athlete lay flat on the ground in a supine position by a weight rack. They're going to take a band, wrap it around the weight rack, and then around their toes on one leg. Then you're going to have your athlete pull that leg aggressively towards their upper body with your foot in a dorsiflex position. The second one is the foam roller. For this, we will demonstrate it on the hamstrings, IT band, and quads. This is used to keep the muscles loose and gain flexibility as they loosen up.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train.
You get your IT band too or something.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Our next segment is plyometrics. Basketball players need to be able to jump explosively and also change direction. The plyometric drills that we do include speed taps, box progression, floor jumps, which are also tuck jumps and squat jumps, box jumps for height, vertical jumps, and lateral box jumps. The first plyometric we're going to do is speed tap. Speed taps are good for quick exchange of the feet and good body control. She's going to start by putting her feet 1 foot on the box. She's just going to switch her feet back and forth. This next drill is the tuck jump. Tuck jumps used just to be powerful and explosive. The next one we're going to do is a squat jump. Squat jumps are the same effect as a tuck jump. The next plyometric we're going to do is a lateral box jump. These are good for change of direction and body control. She's going to jump from side to side, touching the box in between. The next plyometric we do is just a test for our athletes. This is just the vertical jump. She's just going to jump up as high as she can and touch the wall. Alright, these are our box progression drills. These are really good for ACL prevention because when the athlete lands, we want them landing with their knees straight on instead of turned in. This is also good to work on the amortization phase of the stretch shortening cycle, so they're going to be really quick off the ground in between the boxes. All she's going to do is jump over each box and then land on this side.
well jump, jump. Might as well jump.
This plyometric drill is our box jumps per height. We like to do these so our athletes can use lots of power and jump up as high as they can.
Our last component of our training program is our static stretching. We only do these after practices and competitions to help work on preventing injury and increasing flexibility and range of motion at the joints. The type of static stretches that we do include the crossover, the triceps, quadriceps, the IT band and posterior thigh, hip flexor, piriformis, and the hamstring.
The next component of our video is going to be the static stretching. Static stretching should be performed after practices and after competitions in order to prevent injuries, and it leads to an increased flexibility and range of motion of the muscles and joints. Static stretching should not be held for more than 30 seconds or you lose the benefit of the stretch. The first stretches that we're going to demonstrate are going to be across the body arm stretches. This is going to be stretching your shoulder girdle and your triceps and delts. Switch. So again, focusing on this area. The next one she's going to do is an over the back and head. This is a good tricep extension stretch. She's going to hold this for a few seconds and then switch. The next one she's going to do is going to be a standing quad stretch. She's going to try, and she's going to hold this to a point of mild discomfort, just like all the other stretches. She's going to feel it nice and right down the middle of her thigh, and she's going to hold it straight up on the same side with her same arm. The next one she's going to do is going to be a iliotibial band stretch and a hamstring stretch. She's going to stand and cross her feet, keep her legs straight and bend at the waist. Yeah. Bending here, she's going to get a nice stretch down the outside of her thigh and down the back of her thigh and her hamstrings. Alright, the next stretch that she's going to do is going to be a hip flexor stretch. She's going to kneel down on one knee, and then she's going to push through her hips forward until she feels a nice stretch up the inside of her thigh into her groin and up into her hip. The next one that she's going to do is going to be the piriformis stretch. She's going to sit down. She's going to bring her knee up, bring her ankle up to her other knee, and she's going to feel a nice stretch down her hamstrings and into the middle of her glute. Your piriformis is a deep muscle that causes a lot of injuries, and people don't remember to stretch it. So preventing this injury is really good for basketball players. The last stretch that we're going to demonstrate is going to be a pike stretch. The athlete's going to put their legs straight out in front of them with their toes dorsiflex. They're going to reach out as far as they can with their legs, keeping their legs straight. Bending at the waist, they're going to get a good hamstring stretch.
Two, now one. Here's Jordan. Yes. It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer in game one of the Final Seven. Bulls win. He knocked it in at the buzzer. Bulls win. How many times has he done that?
Where he's going to take off on this dunk.
5, 11. So does Michael Jordan.
And his foot was honest to that tape.
Oh, that was great. I wish I had the hands to do that.
There he goes. He goes in straight, goes up in the air. Now he's sideways. Look at the air. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion. Look at his head above the rim. They gave him a 50. They gave Jordan a 50. He defends his championship.
On right back, the Bulls can go up 14. Jordan past Petrovic. Oh, yes, yes, yes. The last one was no. I didn't see that.
Down, they'll work their plays. The steal, he comes in and fouls. Here it is again. This is one for the book, Yubi. He's done a lot of great shots, but I've never seen this before from him.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed our program.
We hope this helps you build a better program for your athletes.
Thanks for watching.
I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Am I okay?
Mhm.
I feel like things hurt.
You're good. Yeah, you're fine. Ashley?
Sorry. ADD.
No kidding.
Alright, so
Topic of our next video, ADD.
tune in next time.